How did a game garner so much hate that it broke a world record for the most negative reviews in Steam history?
No, please!
Honestly, I asked myself that same question, despite the fact that I played this game since day one. What used to be a game that was loved by many turned into one of the most hated games in existence. I wanted to make this video because a lot of other people, including me, Monkey, used to love this game. The stupid comps, the insanely complex hero reveals, Lucio Ball, that is now shut down and replaced with a game that has so much hate surrounding it that there's no way I wanted to talk about how incredible its downfall was. I'm going to document every single thing Blizzard did wrong when developing Overwatch 2, and how it led to being one of the worst rated games on Steam. People think this happened because they cancelled their promised PvE game mode and lied to the entire community. But personally, I think it's way more than that. When Blizzard announced Overwatch 2 and released a trailer with a ton of promises on what it will become. That they'll be working on a new PvE, changes to the multiplayer, and new maps and a new game mode. And on that same day, they released a cinematic that hyped up the game's release with a cinematic of Winston saying, "We are so back."
Yes. Yes, we are.
And they didn't just promise more PvE. This time, they promised a PvE that would come with entire story missions that comes with your own character's skill tree that you can level up and customize its abilities to your own preference, and showed it off all in the game trailer for the game itself. So fast forward a couple of years later, and they announced that to release Overwatch 2, they have to shut down the original Overwatch. So then when I saw them pull this off, I was like, oh, they're probably going to make a better version of Overwatch that's going to be a step up, so they might as well just replace the entire thing. And then Overwatch 2 came out. And then it wasn't anything like that. People can't log into the game because DDoSing. Account transfer is not giving people the right items. Account transfer is also wiping your complete history as an Overwatch 1 player. The game requiring a phone number to even be able to play the game. Anyone that even managed to play the game encountered a bug that immediately placed them in the lowest rank possible.
I'm done playing this game, I don't want to play.
So yeah, pretty bad start for day one release. But I mean, most of these issues can get ironed out with time, right? Well, sorta. Getting DDoS happened, but then people needing a phone number just to play the game? People, including me, did not like that. In their defense, they just wanted to protect against hackers and stop other people from making multiple accounts to destroy low-rank lobbies. The scenarios we were thinking about were more like, oh, you can't afford a phone line? Skill issue. So Blizzard was like, my bad, gang. This will only be for new players that didn't have an Overwatch 1 account, which fixed the issue for most people. Okay, so now that the phone number controversy is over and everybody gets to enjoy this free experience, right? Well, here's the thing. I felt like they changed nothing. To the point that the only noticeable difference was the fact that they changed lobbies from being 6v6 to 5v5. As for the other changes, I'm gonna list out. So we got 6 new maps, 3 new characters, and a battle pass. And remember the PvE they promised that was literally half of what they showcased in the Overwatch 2 trailer? Well, it's not out yet. But people didn't mind it because, you know, they're still working on it. That takes a lot of work. Now that I went through the list of things that they added, I'm gonna go through the list of things they removed. They removed an entire game mode, a ton of maps, all of your existing cosmic cards. They removed a lot of things. Most were really small, cool details that for some reason was removed, but for absolutely no reason they just removed it. And then in later updates, they just reintroduced them back into the game. Like, what's the point even removing these if you're just gonna put them back in there? Like, what? But there are other few changes that were really big systems that were completely reworked against the player. A really good example is the progression system. What used to be a cool way to earn items for playing a game, where you'd get a free chest full of loot whenever you leveled up, that I had no problems with, removed it and replaced it with a battle pass and a skin shop. The backlash for this was pretty big. And by pretty big, I mean almost everybody hated it. And it's not because loot boxes were gone. It's because when they revealed the battle pass, they called it the most rewarding Overwatch experience ever. But in reality, it wasn't. For example, let's talk about the shop they made. The prices for some of these things were questionable to say the least. To the point that somebody pointed out that buying this onion looking charm from the game is more expensive than buying one in real life from Blizzard's official store. But in my opinion, you know, it's their skins. I guess they can overcharge and make it as expensive as they want because it's something Blizzard made. But this brings me to the Battle Pass. And that they started making new heroes that are pretty big gameplay elements to be locked behind the Battle Pass. So you have to pay to play new heroes on release now. When they did this for the first time with Kiriko and they locked her behind a Battle Pass, people reported that it took them almost 50 hours just to unlock her. And somehow, in the same 2 weeks that Overwatch 2 was released, Blizzard is sued for sexual harassment allegations for the second time. A majority of these negative reviews on Steam aren't even related to the game itself. A lot of them refer to Blizzard's reputation. Reason is, Blizzard is notorious. It is the demon of being known for its harassment at its workplace, most of which is targeted against women. They denied doing such things multiple times. But you can see for yourself that nobody's taking Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, a person that earned $155 million in 2021, word when he said for himself that they did not see a systemic issue with harassment. And they also got fined $35 million for trying to cover it up. So time passes. Each season they added some more characters, did some more events, did a One Punch Man crossover for some reason, and even made a dating sim. Only for everyone to beg the question, where was the PvE that Blizzard promised more than 3 years ago?
With everything we've learned about what it takes to operate this game at the level that you deserve, it's clear that we can't deliver on that original vision for PvE that was shown in 2019. What that means is that we won't be delivering that dedicated hero mode with talent trees, that long-term power progression. Those things just aren't in our plans anymore.
Overwatch 2 is one of the most disappointing multiplayer games I've ever seen released. To me, I had more fun being hard-stuck plat in Overwatch 1 than finally hitting Diamond in Overwatch 2. Because at least it didn't have a Battle Pass. At least I didn't have to play 5 games to even know if I'm making progress in ranked or not. At least I didn't have to be lied to about the game I was playing. And at least it had Lucio Ball! And to others, they can speak for themselves on how disappointed they are when it was released on Steam. But there's this one review comment that makes all of this worth it. One of the top comments in the review section of Overwatch 2's Steam page is literally just a link to Team Fortress 2.